Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Grey Remnant here. It's another episode of Week in Review. Week of July 26th, I believe. It's a special week, mainly because the Underwater Kingdom contest thing on PMC concluded this week, and so naturally everybody uploaded their mega builds. So the qualifier list is much longer than it usually is. So apologies to all the qualifiers whose builds will be shown for like a total of 1 second at the end of the video. So I guess we'll start as we always do with structures. The bronze medal goes to a build titled Echoes from the Deep by Mystic Absence. Interesting name. This is an underwater kingdom of sorts. It's kind of like this massive castle surrounded by some nice organic figures. You got some domes, some towers. The organic figures are actually really, really impressive, and I was actually kind of conflicted on whether or not I was going to call this a structure or an organic project, but ultimately I think it was more structure than organic work, so yeah, it's definitely one of the best structures of the week, and probably one of the best entries in the Underwater Kingdom contest. It would probably be a close contender for the top 3, I would say, but it's got some heavy competition, as you'll see just a little bit. But it's pretty impressive, and it's got a... I'm sorry, did I not mention the massive list of credits for this one? Yeah, there was a lot of builders involved. Mystic Absence is apparently a huge build team. They did a really, really nice job with this. So good job, Mystic what was the name again? Mystic Absence. Again, I don't understand what that means, but, you know, good job. Let's move on to the silver medal, which goes to a build titled, and I fucking love this build. I just want to point that out before I get to this. This build rocks. Above the Surface by Sun Fury. Alright, this is a weird build, but it's weird in a good way, in a way that I like. Before we get into it, I just like to point out Sun Fury, actually a larger build team than Mystic Absence. I know if you were doubting that was possible, it is possible, and only Sun Fury was able to pull it off. How many credits does he get? Good God, that's like 20 builders, and you get somebody doing cinematic and voice acting too. My God, what are they making, a feature film or something? But anyway, this is I guess you could say it's an inversion of sea life versus terrestrial life. You've got basically the fish, our fish overlords, living above the ocean in this huge complex of floating domes and pods. I don't know, it's bizarre. And then beneath the water, you've got kind of like the human city. I don't know why the fish are living in an environment that doesn't suit them, and why the humans are living in an environment that doesn't suit them. I mean, it just seems like a lot of trouble for both parties, but I guess that's what Sun Fury decided they wanted to do. But it's a really brilliant concept. It's kind of like, it's switched. Do you get it? Okay. But, yeah, I do like how the human city kind of sticks out of the water a little bit. I guess that's how they get oxygen, because they obviously need that. There's some nice concept art, too, that this was based off of. In concept art, the human city is a bit bigger. I guess they kind of ran out of time. It was a short window of time. It was only a month, and this is pretty impressive, to say the least. But yeah, this is definitely a contender for the top 3, I would say. Purely based on creativity. I mean, this is just a creative concept, really. So good job, Sun Fury. Moving on to the gold medal, which goes to a build that is... it's very good, I guess you could say. It's a build titled Deep Sea by Blockworks. Blockworks, again, the person who's responsible for Tomorrowland and that other city that he made. I forgot what it was called, but you know, Blockworks is arguably the best build team around these days, and Blockworks has made a massive underwater laboratory of sorts that serves as kind of like this parallel between deep space exploration and deep sea exploration. It's kind of like an emphasis on the uncharted, ambiguous nature of the depths of the ocean. I like to think that this build is a little nod to The Abyss, you know, that film that James Cameron made back in like the 70s or 80s, I can't remember which, but To be completely honest, this map is much more vivid and detailed than anything in that movie. So, Blockworks has improved the visual effects of a $70 million blockbuster film using only a $25 computer program. Suck it, Cameron. You lose. You lose, good sir. Back to your lair, Cameron. Get back to work. But aside from that, this map is pretty cool, to be totally honest. What we've got here is basically a cluster of alien technology sitting at the bottom of an ocean trench, and apparently the fish have a vested interest in solving the greatest debacle Earth has ever known. That's right, Donald Trump's hair. It's a problem that threatens all life on this planet. If the orange fibers become malignant and spread beyond the Don's scalp into the water supply, we'll all become infected and die a horrible death. Or we'll just contract gout and go bald. Still horrifying, but The fish scientists are close to synthesizing a vaccine, but time is against us. Let's just hope that they finish it in time. Assuming that I'm just joking around. I'm not. Let's move on to the actual map. This is an ocean laboratory that sports a great variety of technological goodies, including, but not limited to, a time vortex, similar to the model seen in the Terminator series, highly advanced underwater combat vehicles, a ball of dark matter, a giant particle accelerator, nuclear silos, massive electromagnetic nodes tangled in a sentient coral reef, a hideous mutant eel monster, and much more that defies my identification skills. Oh, and there's a particularly ominous-looking egg sac enclosed in a metal cage that I'm guessing will hatch into either Godzilla or the Cloverfield monster. Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. If it's Godzilla, we're all screwed. But if it's Clover, I guess we could just bomb Manhattan and hope for the best. It kind of worked last time, so, yeah. But regardless of mankind's coming destruction, either through atomic fire breath or through a cancerous spread of Donald Trump's gruesome hair fiasco, this map seems to be a statement about mankind's fascination with uncharted realms. What's at the bottom of the ocean, you might ask? Could it be a mutant species of intelligent fish plotting the demise of all life on the atmospheric world above? Could it be a nuclear fusion reactor sucking the Earth's geothermal core dry while assembling a cybernetic army of fish robots? Or maybe, just maybe, that's not the question Blockworks wants you to ask. Maybe what they're saying is that ignorance is bliss. Do you really want to know what's lurking in the abyss? It could be horrifying beyond belief. There could be scary stuff down there. Maybe we should just accept our overworld and not go looking for something we don't understand. And just for good measure, maybe we should limit how much nuclear waste we throw into it. Just to prevent Godzilla from actually coming up and knocking down all our buildings. But nevertheless, whatever the message or theme this map is intended to deliver to us, I think we can all agree that this is really fun to look at. Like always, Blockworks has given us a sharp, vast conglomeration of architectural goodness, blended together with domes, infrastructure, and some sprinkles of organic work as well. And what's better than looking at all this through the delightful lens of a top-notch Nazi 797 render? Nothing. So, very well done, Blockworks. Oh, by the way, I'd like to point out that if this doesn't win the Underwater Wonderland contest, or whatever it's called, I'm burning something down. Yes, Horwitz, it's your house. You will pay for your shenanigans, good sir. So, I'm not actually going to do that. I don't actually know where Horwitz lives yet. But rest assured, Horwitz, when I find you, you will weep for your soul and curse the very ground you stand upon. Moving on to terraforming of the week. Yes, let's move on to some terrestrial stuff. Let's get out of this underwater environment. The water pressure is getting to me. The bronze medal for terraforming this week goes to a terrain titled Summer's Prairie by Green Window. This is basically a rolling green landscape of hills and mountains and lakes and such. It's quite beautiful. It looks like something out of The Highlander or Braveheart or something of the like. Very well done, Green Window. It's beautiful. Let's Let's move on to the silver medal, which goes to a terrain, or should I say a build, titled Elvish Outpost by Cosmic Cow. This is a vast cliffside with a nice little palace and a hanging bridge connecting the two with some nice custom trees, and there's some boats down below. As waterfalls. Waterfalls are always a nice touch, and the render is quite nice as well. Who did the render? Spleck? No, Spleck is retired, I guess. I haven't heard from Spleck in like 3 weeks. Maybe more than that. Noobzo did the renders for this. So very well done. Cosmic Cow. It's quite beautiful. You should be proud. Moving on to the gold medal, which goes to a terrain titled Reach, A World Unfolding by Kilgrim. This is a vast mountainous terrain filled to the brim with towering evergreens and splashed here and there with some vividly colored plains. Don't know what that's about, but, it's there. Like all massive landscapes, there's a small tundra region to the north. We'll just call that Canada, just 'cause. And the mainland is fragmented by various rivers and lakes and the like. However, unlike most massive landscapes, Reach has a secret hidden beneath it. That's right. Below the Golden Plains, there's a hellish cave system filled with lava and downright scary, if I do say so myself. Now that I think of it, it does remind me of that place where you encounter the centipede demon in Dark Souls. God damn it, Kilgrim, why must you remind me of that? I still have nightmares, good sir. I don't want to think about that. Is this map a statement about how every seemingly peaceful place has a hidden darkness buried somewhere within it? Perhaps. But overall, this is some solid terraforming that looks highly realistic while giving the player some neat secrets to explore. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what terraforming is all about. But in all seriousness, Kilgrim, do not make any Dark Souls-related stuff ever again. I will hunt you down and burn your house down, along with Horwitz. I've threatened like 2 people this episode already. It's not going well. But, let's move on to organic work, which brings us back to the Under the Sea contest thingamajig, whatever you want to call it. The bronze medal for organic work goes to a map titled Under the Tea. Puns. Nice job, Lord Block Community. By the way, Lord Block Community made this map. Another build team, a relatively new build team. Remember, Not T797? Well, Not T797 joined Lord Block along with Akanip and Seacraft. And this is a fairly vast map filled to the brim with organic figures. You got a nice little table with like a tea party going on, with a mermaid, a seahorse, a squid that's messing up the table. Bad manners, squid. Get off the table. And there's a shark hanging out in the background. You got lots of little structures like a treasure chest and such. You got swordfish that's got a nose piercing, which is an interesting detail, to say the least. And you got lots of nice little coral and sea plants and whatnot. And there's a tortoise floating about, because that's how he rolls. Don't question the tortoise. And yeah, it's pretty... It's a lot of organic work, and it's very impressive. So well done, Lord Block Community. Moving on to the silver medal, which goes to a map titled Redeemer Class Gunship by Roski. This is really impressive. This is like a giant hammerhead shark that somebody has outfitted with engines and technology and stuff, and it's got like 2 tail fins that are both actually like jet engines. Yeah, this is truly bizarre build. I don't know how this happened. This is like, oh, and by the way, this is the same guy who made that Asgard carrier battle cruiser a few weeks ago, and there's a comparison. It's almost as big as that, but it's got some nice details on it. Like, its flesh is like partially metallic. It's like a cybernetic hammerhead shark. Also the size of the Titanic, which is odd. I don't know where they found a hammerhead shark that big, but nevertheless, and the interior is actually well decorated as well. So very well done, Roski. This pretty much blew me away. Let's move on to the final build of the week, the gold medal for organic work, which is another Under the Sea build titled Xephira, or Xephira, or whatever, made by Pandora's Blocks. This is an interesting interesting build, to say the least. It's a massive... Xephira is this massive mollusk-type organism that lives on the bottom of the ocean, and it's apparently this sort of primordial entity responsible for the early evolution of life 4 billion years ago. It's covered in these jagged spikes, valves, and this rich sandy texture. It's kind of cool to look at. It seems that at some point a vast civilization formed around Xephira. There's like this Romanesque architecture surrounding it, and you got this thick haze of seaweed, sea creatures, and these massive jellyfish. Are they guarding Xephira from poachers and rapscallions? Who knows? There's this sort of symbiotic vibe at hand here. It's like this fusion between man-made architecture and organic sea life. Whatever civilization inhabited this underwater kingdom seems to have lived peacefully along Xephira, either out of respect or perhaps even fear of its baleful wrath. The most impressive feature of this map is probably what lies within Xephira. It's almost completely hollow, with a large beating heart suspended in the epicenter. Yeah, and the heart actually has this kind of giant squid kind of wrapped around it. It's unclear if this relationship is symbiotic or parasitic. I don't know. It's kind of creepy. But this is one of the most mysterious and perplexing maps in the sea contest. It tells this kind of story that's intriguing enough to be the basis for like a novel or a film. It's kind of elegant and simple, and the audience can interpret it a variety of different ways. It's kind of like the quintessential setting for a timeless sci-fi story ready to be told. So well done. Well done, Pandora's Blocks. Very impressive. That's it for this week. We have some badges to hand out this week. 2. Green Windu got the Landscaper badge because he's good at terraforming. And Blockworks got the Master Crafter badge because Blockworks is the best architect so far on Week in Review. He's got 36 points in the structural category. That's pretty damn impressive, if I do say so myself. So well done, Blockworks. I'd like to point out that I am doing something for the 2,000 subscriber milestone on PMC. Trust me, there is something in the works. It is being worked out as we speak. I'm also doing a cool blog soon that I think you guys will enjoy. It's kind of about Dark Souls a little bit, perhaps, but it's mostly about video games in general. And there will be more stuff. Oh, I'm interested in seeing who's going to win the Underwater Kingdom contest. I hope that it's Blockworks. Map it had better be, for Horwitz's sake. But, you know, what will be, and there's nothing I can do about it, because I'm not a judge. But, you know, I was actually thinking about making a build for the underwater contest, but I couldn't get anybody to do the organic figure that I needed for it, so alas, apologies for that. But, you know, I've been busy with other stuff too. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please enjoy your list of qualifiers. It's quite a long list, so all the qualifiers won't get very, much of a spotlight because they'll be, like, really fast. But, you know, it's not my fault. It was the Under the Sea week, and everybody uploaded massive mega builds. What do you want from me? So, yeah, please enjoy. I'll see you guys next week. Grey Remnant signing out. Goodbye, you guys.
5, 4, 3...